Assalamu alaikum and hello everyone. Well, I hope you've had a great week and you are all safe and well. By popular demand, we're back in the wellbeing room and Rocky's returned. I know many of you were interested to see Rocky and how he's been doing well at Regent over the last couple of weeks. And I'm pleased to say, like your children, that Rocky has done extremely well in his GL. So, great job, Rocky. So this week, as well as the GLs, which are going really well for your sons and daughters, and we're extremely pleased how they're going in respect to how hard they've worked, but also how hard our teachers have worked to ensure that they're ready for these assessments over the next couple of weeks. Also, from last week, we talked about Peter Pan. Our budding, talented musicians, singers and dancers are hard at work getting ready for the Peter Pan musical, and that will be coming to your screens in due course. And also, with the hot and humid weather that's now come to us across Dubai, thank you for supporting us with the morning drop-off, specifically trying to make sure that the cars are moving forward to the right places, so students are getting out quickly and calmly and safely out of the heat as quickly as possible. So thank you for all of that you are doing on a day-to-day basis to support your children, but also to support the school. Even though we have over 5 weeks left at school, you'll be receiving information about the end of the school year. And as part of that is about our resources and library books, etc. So please have a look at that. If you are leaving us at the end of this academic year, then some of those resources need to be returned. So please check the relevant dates so there's no issues with the transition to your new country going on into the next academic year. So this week we are in the wellbeing room, and I'm really pleased to say that I'm here with Miss Summers. Hi, how are you doing?
I'm very well, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. So what we wanted to share with you is just a bit of an update of how well and what we're doing in terms of the well-being here at Regent for our staff, students, and you, the parents. So, Ms. Summers, just tell us a little bit about what's going on here at Regent.
Yeah, well, as many of you will know, well-being is really central to what we do here, and it's an everyday part of our decision making. So, you know, some of the things we base what we do here on is a research and an evidence base in our positive education curriculum, because what we know is children who are emotionally resilient have better outcomes for their learning, but also in terms of life satisfaction and happiness in adulthood. So it really drives a lot of what we do here. And we have, in terms of our specific curriculum, we have lessons that are taught around well-being. And so within those lessons, children will learn about character, growth mindset, mindfulness, specific breathing practices, and it's all based in the best practices to support well-being for children. So that's what we do in terms of the curriculum. And this year we've also introduced well-being through our student voice and our student leadership groups to make sure that students have a voice for what it is that they want support with in school. So they've been really successful in terms of students having a platform, but also driving forward some of our key focus areas. So at the beginning of the term, we did a survey with all the children in terms of well-being, just to find out, you know, where they were at, and obviously they'd experienced a lot of things with the pandemic and home learning, and it was such a different year for them. So we found out where they were at and things that we could do to really support them and drive things forward for their well-being, and the student voice team have been instrumental in that, and we've seen such a positive shift in the data for children being able to use what we would term positive coping strategies. So being able to use specific breathing exercises and knowing they can reach out to adults to talk about their feelings. So those are some of the things that we do in the classroom day to day, and it's, you know, all focused on building resilience essentially.
It's amazing.
We have our Mindful Mondays, which I know you've mentioned before during your meetings, to make sure children are spending time off the device, because that's, you know, being a concern because they have increased the use. So we do mindful moments and mindful strategies. during lunch times. And you know, in addition to that, I think you see represented in our school through the events that we've acknowledged this year. Despite the pandemic, we still acknowledge events that are important and at the heart of what we do. So we acknowledge Mental Health Day, Positive Education Day, Children's Mental Health Week, and make sure that we are promoting those key messages for children who can reach out and get support from adults when they are struggling.
Right.
For specific students that need direct intervention and a lot of additional support, then we also have a counselling service at school where we can access that too. So that's, you know, a bit of a summary of what we're doing for students, a bit of a snapshot there. Staff, again, a really important instrumental part of what we do, thinking about staff wellbeing. And it's been such a challenging year for teachers, and I feel they have been absolute heroes.
Yes.
In this pandemic, and they have coped with so many challenges, so many restrictions, trying to keep the children safe, trying to make sure that they still are able to make social relationships even at a distance, thinking about their well-being, thinking about their learning. There's so much they've taken on board, and I think we are very lucky as a community at Regent that our staff support each other and they're close-knit, and so a lot of the drive of well-being is through the positive relationships they have with each other and the support they authentically give to each other.
Absolutely.
In addition to that, because we know it's incredibly important and staff have been put under different stresses this year than what they would normally face, and additional at that, we have our staff wellbeing working party, which you're a big part of as well, and within that we look at what staff are saying in the surveys. We're always looking for the feedback and what we can do as a school to make sure staff continue to have a voice, and we're very solution focused in how we manage some of those things as well.
Yeah, that's great. So, and I think you know, I think that's really important in terms of that listening, okay, and understanding. You know, whether it's staff, students, or parents, making sure that as a school we are listening to the people.
Yeah.
And as a result of that, making changes when changes are needed. And that's really impressive in terms of what you shared with us today. So thank you very much, Miss Summers. And just sort of a final farewell from both of us, and also Rocky, okay, who's obviously enjoyed our little discussion this morning. So take care, have a great weekend ahead, and we look forward to seeing you on the morning gates and the afternoon pick up next week. Thanks everyone.